Season in the Women's Super League, it seems like Chelsea are winning again. I know, boring. But there was one team, okay, there's one team that's really impressed me. And it's City. It's City. I know they're not first. They're not first. They've had some slip-ups, okay? But when you look at this team, it is a scary force, especially considering their transfer window consisted of one Miss Jill Roord. That was it. And everyone was like, oh, God, what's City doing? It was a bit dodgy, but looking at them, they've been especially considering that I don't rate their manager that I don't rate Gareth Taylor that much, you lot. He's messed up many a team. He's had such good teams at City. If you guys go back to the City teams, he has such good teams, and he didn't win. He won what, a Continental Cup, an FA Cup. It's a bit sad, but I would like to go into why I think the City side is so good and why we should be scared of them. City are currently second in the WSL table, 25 points. Same points as Arsenal, but they've got better goal difference because they score so many goals, City. They've lost 2 matches, which I will be talking about. They've drawn 1, which, if we're being honest, guys, it doesn't really count as a draw, does it? Because it was the Emily Heaslip era where she was like, yellow card, yellow card, yellow card. You guys remember that, don't you? They've won 8. They haven't been perfect. I will admit, I'm not sitting here saying they've been perfect. I will talk about their weaknesses and what I think they can do to stop these weaknesses. But you can't tell me they don't look scary. In my opinion, if there was a team that I'd rather not face in the WSL, obviously Liverpool fan, it's City. It's City because, yes, Chelsea are also scary. Okay, but without Sam Kerr, I'm a little less scared of them. City, on the other hand, they're just disgusting. The first thing I think of when you say City to me is it's that front three. Shaw, Hemp and Kelly. That front three it should be illegal. It is genuinely disgusting. They're all top talents, okay? They all do things differently. They all have different game plans, but they all have one commonality. I don't know if that's a word, but they have one commonality, okay? Don't try and say that's not a word, Oxford Dictionary. And that is that they score goals. They score so many goals. Altogether, this season, only half of it, they have 21 goals and 8 assists. That's just disgusting. The things they do to defences, I don't think people understand. Yes, you've got Shaw, and she is amazing on her own. But when you have Hemp running at you, when you've got Kelly running at you, you sat there thinking, oh, God. And they can also, it's not just like, okay, if we keep them out of the box, they are so good at scoring goals outside of the box. Also, City's defence, I think it's been solid this season. I don't think any of the defence has been getting enough credit for what they've done. I think a special shout out to Keaton. She came out of nowhere, practically. She started some games ever since Roebuck and all that. And then she just became like one of the most perfect, most sought after goalkeepers ever. Like, that's your dream to sit there and go, let me just pick a goalkeeper out of my academy so we don't have to spend this huge price, especially Greenwood. Greenwood is probably the most underrated player ever, I think. Greenwood's been so good. That woman is everything you want in a centre-back. Like, there's no way. Hasegawa, I know she's not technically the defence, but I wanted to give a special mention to her because she's been getting no credit, okay? But the games where she's on it, okay, are the games that City win. No one talks about her. No one even mentions her, but she controls that midfield. If she is on the ball, yeah, everyone's like, oh God, oh God. She controls that midfield. She starts off these attacks. She does everything, and no one gives her enough credit for it. I feel like I also need to give a special mention to the one and only transfer that City had, Jill Roord. Now, at the time, okay, everyone insulted it. I think it was, 370k? It was something like that. It was like something like 370k they gave to Wolfsburg. And everyone was like, why are they doing that? Like, why? It's Jill Roord. You don't really need her. This woman has changed City completely. And the best part about Jill Roord is she plays 2 different positions. Sometimes Gareth Taylor likes to put her as the number 10, sort of behind Shaw. And she works beautifully because anything those front 3 miss, she's there. And that woman scores goals. I hope you know that. She's a goal scorer. She understands how to play. And she's got so many goals. But obviously, okay, not all the time she plays behind Shaw. Sometimes she plays behind Kelly. Which is even worse because now you've got her overlapping. You've got her coming in between. I think it was either the Everton game or the Durham game, where it was just those two sort of on the right side. They couldn't deal with them. And like, how can you? She's also sort of there as like a backup, a buffer to this attack. She's just like, yeah, you guys, these three can't get through, but I'm gonna get through. I'm gonna get, and it's so hard to like man mark her. It's so tough because she's so unpredictable. I could sit here all day talk about every single City player, but I feel like there's one thing that you guys are thinking. You're thinking, yes, but Grace, City haven't been the best. They've lost a lot of stupid games, and that I would agree on. They've lost many a stupid game. 2 games they've lost. Arsenal and Brighton. Both games that they should have won, in my opinion. They should have won. Also, I'd like to reiterate the draw doesn't count, in my opinion. I'm viewing it as the draw doesn't count because I'm not going to criticise City because of a bad refereeing performance. Oh, you guys got sent off? Oh, you guys didn't get a penalty? Oh, anyway, when they lost to Arsenal, I don't know how they did that. They just lost this control. They sort of had this game plan going in, and then Arsenal figured it out, because Arsenal always figure out City's game plan. It's sort of a thing. They always figure it out. And Gareth Taylor didn't change it. Gareth Taylor was like, okay, it will continue working if we just keep doing it. And then Arsenal got the first goal, because of course they did. They do that. They know how to get at certain teams. And they sort of lost control. They didn't know what to do. There were stupid penalties that were given away. I think it's quite lucky that City didn't lose more than 2-1 against Arsenal. They just struggled. Also, I noticed one thing. Fowler started as a number 10. I didn't really understand that. We're going back in the days, so I don't really know. I don't think there was any injuries to anyone. I didn't think, I didn't know why we started Fowler as a number 10. Very clearly it doesn't work. I don't know if there was a reason for it. I don't know. I don't understand. Normally, sort of the number 10 is normally Roord or Coombs. Those are the sort of 2 number 10s. And I looked through every single game, and that was the only game they decided to put Fowler this season as a number 10. I don't know why you decided to switch it up for the big game of this season. Maybe it's just me, but stick to what you know. Stick to what you know. If Coombs and Roord are your number 10s, don't just go and switch it up randomly for your biggest game. Put arguably your biggest game. It's Arsenal. You know they're going to do good. And it's Arsenal at home at Meadow Park. It's tough. But they decided to start. I don't know. City's lost to Brighton, 1-0. It was 1-0. They weren't clinical. It was very clear they weren't clinical. They couldn't score the goals. They had the majority of the possession, but that's their own fault. It's just classic, oh my God, let's counter, or let's hope for a set piece, and let's just go for it. I did note they played a 4-3-3, which isn't their normal formation. Again, I don't know why he changes it up. Maybe because of injuries and all that, but why he changed it up? And they didn't play this sort of number 10. The person behind Shaw was Hasegawa. And Hasegawa isn't a number 10. She's not one of those players. And that was the only time that they played. And that is one thing that I've noted, is that both of their losses, they haven't played like a proper number 10. They haven't had that person in behind that helps them. And I think that's very important. No one seems to be talking about it. Everyone's like, oh my God, it was City's defence. But I think that number 10 is so important. When you have that number 10 that is perfect, that's beautiful, I think it works out for City. I think that's what they need. I think they even need Coombs, Roord, to sit behind Shaw and sort of help her. And it works well. You can't sit there and say they've won pretty much all of the games that they've played with a number 10. Again, we're not counting the Chelsea draw, guys. We're pretending that they won that, okay? Imagine. Anyway, I think that's the tactic here. They need to accommodate these strikers, because Shaw can't do everything on her own, can she? It's not like she's some superhuman who can just sit there and run for everyone. She needs sort of players to accommodate her play, and they do very well. It just depends who you play. City can be excellent. They can be amazing. They can win the league. They have the talent to do it. You look at that and it looks amazing. They have all of the talent. The only problem I would question is the manager, Gareth Taylor. I have been critical of Gareth Taylor. You guys know this. I don't know if he's the right manager to win them leagues. I don't know. But you can tell there's something there. Also with Jill Roord, I don't know about how bad her injury is as of current. Hoping it's not the 3 letters, because that would be a huge blow. Like, it genuinely would be a huge blow for City. In conclusion, I just think City could be so good. They could be so good. But I've noticed that the very important player, the incredibly important player for them, is the number 10. If you guys take anything from this video, watch City play, yeah, and watch that number 10. Watch that number 10 and you will sit there and you think, wow, they're doing a lot more than I thought they were doing. Anyway, thank you for watching this nice video. Subscribe, maybe, guys. That's what people say. And yeah, tell me what club I should do next. I'm doing stuff on Aston Villa. I might do an Aston Villa video next because there's a lot going wrong with Aston Villa currently, and I'm doing some research on Aston Villa. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it was good.